Hi everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to Tara's Take. So I have my Edith Holden Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady here. And I have not really, I don't think I've done anything on camera with this book. I've done a few things on my own, but I thought that today's Mass Monday could be creating some ephemera with our Edith Holden books, or any book you have. I mean, this is the one I'm using. You can use anything you want, but I was thinking that would be kind of fun to have a few pieces of book page ephemera made, and that I bring you guys along. Let's see, it's April, and this one's one of her April entries. Let me see here. I'll go ahead and tear these out. So what you're going to need today is some cardstock or some cardboard, such as like Kleenex box, cereal box, that kind of, firm board that you can create some journal cards and some tags. That's probably what I'm going to make. I may do a pocket or two, maybe an envelope, but I'll probably stick with the journal cards and tags. I'm just trimming this very torn edge off here. And some glue. You're going to need some glue, some possibly a bone folder, some stuff to decorate with. I've got my washi tape out because I was doing another project earlier, so I may be doing a little bit with washi. I don't know yet. So if you're interested in that, I'm just separating some pages here real quick. That's pretty. And I've got this book all topsy-turvy, every which way. Ooh, look at that one. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, it's upside down. So how's everybody doing today? It's Monday for you, of course, Friday for me. I always say that. I am filming on a Friday because now, especially now because we've started going to church, if he doesn't take a nap on Saturday, I don't have any time alone on Saturday to film. And then on Sunday now we are attending church, and by the time we get home from lunch, we're tired. Y'all know how that is. Sunday afternoon nap after church and after eating out and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's my one day a week now where I'm off from cooking, because we're trying to save money, but we go out one day a week and we get lunch. So I've picked a few pages. Now what I found yesterday, and I thought this was very pretty, and it was on sale. I stopped to get some glue and a couple of new glue bottles because mine were given out. And I can't find the ones that I bought. They're here somewhere, and I know I'll run into them eventually, but I just went and bought them. They're like $1.79 for two at the Hobby Lobby. But the Hobby Lobby had their paper on sale this week, and they had this. And I had not ever purchased this. I don't even know if I've seen it, but it's parchment, and it's 50 sheets of cardstock. Let's see, doesn't really say. Oh, there it is, 65 pound or 176 GSM. And I thought, you know what, this would be really pretty for my journal cards and tags for the background. Look at that, isn't that nice? And then there's like a yellowish colored one, but yeah, I was thinking these would be pretty. So it's like kind of a dark greenish gray, then a lighter green, and then a tan, and then a yellow. So that's what I'm going to use today for my backdrop, and glue my pieces of paper to them. So I think I want this foxglove. I think that's gorgeous. So I'm gonna, I was looking here real quick. That paper, it's funny, it looks yellowish up against everything else, but then when I pull it off, it almost looks green as well. I don't know, I think it's my desk. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go ahead and use this one because it just matches nicely. And so let's see, what do we want to cut out? I was thinking, you know, I can make pockets, I can make tags, so I'm going to go ahead and cut through the center of this, and I just cut that very crooked. I saw that myself. I don't know if everybody else saw it, but I did. Yeah, really crooked. Okay, and I'm going to try to get as much of the foxglove as I can into the picture. I'll be decorating on top of it, but that's okay. I think that just having that in the background is going to be really pretty. So, and I love the page part too, like the writing in this book. Look at that. Isn't it awesome? How's your view? I need to put my chair up. Sorry, guys. I just realized my chair's really low. I can't see into the camera very good, and that's why, because I've got the chair down too far. Okay, now I can see what you're seeing. So I'm just going to scoot this over to my left there. I've only got this pad here so it covers that shiny light on top of my desk, so y'all know. If you've been with me for a minute, you know it's really blinding if I don't have something there. It's blinding for me, and I'm sitting here. So someday in my new home, I'll have a window, and I will have my desk in front of that window, and we will have daylight. Yeah. What I need to do, and right now I can't, is get one of those stands that has the light. And of course, I'm not really sure if I have the space even for that, like how to set it up, you know. Okay, I'm going to try to pull this into the corner if I can before, nope, I'm going to have to, never mind. So, get my glue spreader. Oh, that's another thing. You'll want a glue spreader, and you'll want some dry wipes. Okay. And my dog is like in her sleep. So if you hear something moaning, it's my dog. I was thinking that this would be a cute pocket if I could narrow it down a little bit. I'm going crooked today. So let's see. Since I really don't have to explain anything, I mean, what I'm doing right now, real quick, and then I'm going to talk for a minute. I am trimming this down so that I can put it, hopefully, onto a page as a pocket, because I just think it'll be pretty. And I like having that description down there, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. How wide is this? Probably going to be way too wide. Let's see. Like right. Yeah, it's 6 inches. Just over 6. If I take too much of it off, it's going to lose the foxglove. If I take this side off, it's going to lose that. Which, you know what? Let it go, Tara. It's okay. This is just going to be a second. It's going to be a second journal card. I'm just not going to hang on to worrying about, you know, you just can't. You can't. Everybody asks me, how did you cut that? How do you cut that? I get that question quite a bit. And I got to say, you just do it. Because after you do it, you're going to forget you even, I mean, it's not even going to matter. You know what I mean? He's cute. It's just not even going to matter after the fact. Because you're going to cover it up with stuff. You're going to decorate on top of it. You're going to forget all about that little corner that said foxglove. And if you really want it, I could cut that out and just put it at the base of my card, which I might do, because it's just cute, you know. do some distressing on it and just let it show. It'd be cute. So yeah, I might do it like that instead, because it doesn't have to be a part of the page, you know. So watch, what I'm talking about is I can just go like this. And I bet you I can even go around the edge and kind of tear it off like I like. Distress it. It'll look cool and also be the description of the flower. Yeah, that's fun. Now this takes my nails. I've got to get it really close. Oh, I'm tearing it. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'll just do it down here, because it's too close to the edge of the page, so that's all right. I don't care if it's got torn edge on all sides. Before I glue it on, I will distress it. So anyway, let's see. Now, of course, I have not gone to church for this weekend, but last weekend we went, and I think I told you guys already. Let's see. Did I tell you that I met the pastor? I think I tell you in another video. So if I tell you twice, I apologize. I think in the other video I tell you that I probably told you this already on, on our video. So I'll tell you anyway. So, because I don't think I told you yet. I think that I'm going to tell you again. So just forgive me, because those videos are taped before, they're recorded before Mass Monday. That's the problem. So if I do repeat myself sometimes, that's why. And I'm forgetful and don't remember exactly what I said. So, but what I was going to say is we actually went and we had our tour with the pastor, with Pastor Lynn, and we met his wife, and her name is Claudia. Very, very nice lady. And then we got to meet Pastor Tim and his wife. Pastor Tim is the senior pastor, and that was really fun. And his wife, we met them just for a few minutes, but they're very kind, very sweet, and you know, nice people. And it was funny because and there's a reason this is like a big deal. Okay, this church, I don't think I've told you. I mentioned it to someone. I told someone yesterday we were talking. One of you guys, my sweetheart friends, and she asked me how big the church is. The church, I am not certain, but it is called a mega church. It's a pretty big church. They have over 5,000 members. I can state that without any doubt. So to get to meet Pastor Tim within the first couple of weeks of going is a really big blessing, because, you know, not that he wouldn't talk to us if we went up to him at the altar, because he would. It's just that, you know, you don't want to bother someone that's already got 15 people standing there waiting to be prayed for. But and also being in the ministry like I've been, there's you know, there's this level of respect, and, you know, I'm not one of those people that's going to run up to the pastor and be like, oh, talk to me. You know, and if you go to a smaller church, it's much easier, of course, to be right up there with them. But when you're in a bigger church, they've got so many people to deal with. It's hard, you know. Sometimes they need to just have an appointment with you if you really want to meet them and talk to them, share your heart with them. You know, you need to actually call the office and make an appointment, because it's not easy during church time. They're working, you know. That's something we as lay people in the pews, no offense, I don't mean that by anything other than folks who are not in the ministry or who are not volunteering in the church, who go to the church and attend but aren't doing anything, you know, as far as work goes. You know, they may not realize that when church is in service, the pastors are actually at work. They're working. They're not attending church like the rest of you. And the volunteers are working. The praise and worship team is actually working. The choir, the musicians, the ushers, the security, everybody that's involved in the actual, you know, function of the church on church days, whether that be Wednesday night or Sunday morning, that's a work day for them. So they can visit, but they also have to get their job done. So yeah, a lot of people don't understand that or didn't know that. I remember a time when I didn't really think of it that way, and somebody told me, you know, you're at work right now. And I was like, that's true. I hadn't really thought about it because I was a praise and worship leader, but I didn't get paid, you know. And so I hadn't really thought about it. And I was like, yeah, you know, you are right, because that's what we do during those hours of being there. We're working. Isn't these pretty? And I haven't even done anything to them yet. Gee, whistle sticks. So yeah, so we met them, which was super fun. We met a bunch of other pastors too, that are on the team. So now we've been acquainted. My husband made me so proud. I was so blessed because, you know, Cordy was a little nervous. Like we've talked about it, to climb out of that shell that he's kind of lived in for a while now in his life. And he actually, oh, you know what I should have done? I should have not cut so close to that. I should have waited and tore that out, but that's okay. But yeah, he went in there, you guys, and he he shook hands with all the other pastors, and Pastor Tim and his wife Melissa came, you know, to us to say hi. He made jokes. He was so funny because it turns out Pastor Tim is really, really tall. I mean, you can tell he's a big guy. He used to be a bodybuilder, and you can tell he was a big guy, and he is a big guy. But he actually is so much taller in person than I thought. And when Cordy walked up to him, it was the funniest thing. He shook his hand and he goes, "Hello, sir. It's good to meet you." He goes, "Boy, you are as big in real life as you are on TV, on the screen." And Pastor Tim bursted out laughing. He goes, "Oh my gosh." He goes, "Most people tell me I'm bigger." And I said, "I'll say you're bigger. You're taller than I thought." And it was just, his wife was laughing. It was fun. So yeah, I was just really proud of him, you guys, because he's just such a great guy. And I'm so glad the Lord told me to take a chance on him in life. And you know, I mean, for those of you who don't know, when I met my husband, he was homeless and he was an alcoholic, and the Lord told me to protect this man and to help get him straight in life, and I did. And from the very beginning, I knew he was meant to be my husband, but I promised the Lord that I would, you know, do what he was telling me to do, even if I was hearing wrong and he wasn't my husband, that I would still protect this man and keep him. And, you know, he has such a calling on his life. And the enemy has just tried to destroy that. But God. And so, yeah, so that was Sunday. We had a really great service. I guess we're having a really cool Easter Resurrection Day service. And this is cool. The lead singer from Sonic Flood is friends with the church. They've gotten acquainted through the years, and so he's coming to lead praise and worship with our praise and worship leader. So yeah, it's going to be fun service. I'm excited about that too. Oh, and we got to take the first communion we've taken, Courtney and I together, and then also it was the first one I've taken in a very long time, and it was the first one he's taken in a very long time. So what a blessing this last Sunday was. It was just, it was good. It was good. The message was awesome. And, you know, the pastors taught on the blindness, you know, the enemy, how he blinds the world to the saving grace of Jesus Christ, and how he gouges their eyes out, you know, and the Lord Jesus wants to heal their eyes. He wants to open their eyes, you know, and he just talked about how we can share, you know, sharing the gospel, and just, it was a really good message. So that was Sunday. Let's see. That was Sunday. And then what did I do on Monday? I think I just stayed home and did my work, did my videos, and worked on some stuff here. I'm trying to think. So then, okay. So an update on Courtney's work. This is interesting update. Very, very interesting, cool update. So he went to work on Monday and he got overtime. Okay. Then he went to work on Tuesday, and Debbie, the office manager, messages him. Well, when he leaves, she goes, you know, he had like, I don't know. He got, let's see. Was it Monday? I just want to make sure. Okay, no, it was Wednesday. So, okay, Monday he got overtime, and then on Tuesday he got overtime. Okay, just a little bit, like a half hour. And then on Wednesday, she messages him because he had a whole bunch of parks to do. And the two guys that never want to work and always get off super early, I've told you about, Steve and Kat. Well, they were told to go help Courtney. And it was Debbie, the manager, had said it was because she didn't want him to get too much overtime, you know, even though they had told him pretty much, you know, if you have to get overtime, you have to get overtime. Just get the job done right. And his boss had told him, you know, this is, I want you to do this. I want you, he goes, this truck is yours. I love your work. Because he called him on, that's it. He called him on Tuesday, okay? His boss, Preston, and told him how much he likes his work ethic, thinks that Courtney's an awesome guy, and he wants, you know, he gave him that truck to use. He wants him to do whatever, I just keep cutting this and it keeps doing it wrong. Do whatever he needs to do, whether it's take more overtime, he needs it, whatever, to get the job done right, because so many of the jobs haven't been done right, and they even lost a contract the other day with one of the HOAs because of the bad service through these two guys. Okay, so so on Wednesday, she tells him, she texts Courtney and says, you know, could you try and get 8 hours today? And they put him, instead of him being alone, which is what his boss had said he would be, Preston had said he would be on his own because Courtney prefers to work on his own, and he had told Preston that. And Preston was like, yeah, definitely, you can work on your own, and I'll, you know, but he had a meeting on Wednesday, and so he didn't get to talk to Debbie and tell her about his conversation with Courtney. So she tells Courtney, yeah, on Thursday we're going to put you with Kat, and we're going to let Nick, you know, take your truck and train Jacob some more. Well, so Courtney's like, okay, and he's kind of like, okay, what's the contradiction here? Why are we telling me one thing then another? And I said, it's obvious that Preston didn't get to talk to Debbie, and for whatever reason, she's, you know, worried you're going to get too much overtime. And so we were getting kind of agitated on Wednesday night talking about it, you know, and I got irritated because, to be honest with you, everywhere Courtney has worked, he has a spirit of excellence, and that's just who he is. That's how he works. It's how his mom and dad taught him to work. It's the way he is. It's his character. And I've never seen him give less than 100%. Honestly, even when his son died. I mean, the man is just, he's just amazing. And so I'm like, you know, getting kind of fired up because I was irritated. I'm like, I do not want you working for a company again that's just going to say, oh, you do a great job and we really are impressed, and then turn around and do you in and use you, because they end up using Courtney. These other companies have. They never really reward him for his loyalty or for his integrity. They just go, oh, wow, you're really good. Okay, well, we're going to take advantage of that. And then they use him for it. And it's just very frustrating as his wife to see him done that way, you know. And it hit me all of a sudden as I was getting worked up. I looked at him and I go, you know what? And I was like, Lord, I'm sorry for forgetting that this is what's happening. But it hit me what was happening. The Holy Spirit must have just quickened in me, because I was like, you are getting ready to walk into a wonderful blessing, and the enemy sees that, and he doesn't want you to receive that blessing. So he's trying to get us to speak negatively about your company, about your boss, about the situation, because he doesn't want you. This is so pretty. I'm almost tempted to just do this side. I wanted to do the words, but that's so nice though. I really like that. I think I'll do that. So anyway, I was like, he's just trying to get us to diss the company, diss Preston, you know, just speak negativity into the situation. And I said, honey, the reason is because he sees in the spirit that you are about to walk right into a blessing. Let's just praise the Lord and thank God for everything that Preston told you and not worry about it. Because Preston had said he wanted to talk to Courtney on Wednesday, but he didn't get to because he was in a meeting. And so here's the cool thing. So yesterday, after he works with Kat, and it turns out Kat actually worked a full day. He didn't try to get out of it and go out, you know, and just barely do the job and go home early. He actually told Courtney, I want to do better. I want to work, you know, and Courtney was like, good. And so they did a full day. And when they get back, Courtney told him, well, I got to go clock out because Debbie told me not to get any more overtime. I have to get 8 hours. So he goes in and he clocks out, and then the lady in the office, Rebecca, says, oh, Courtney, Preston, or Debbie wants to talk to you. And Debbie comes out and goes, not me, Preston. And he goes, okay. So he goes in there, and Preston's like, hey, man, come on in. And you guys, God is absolutely amazing. I can't tell you the whole thing because Courtney, it was so much. Courtney was like, I can't even remember the whole thing, honey. He goes, I'm sorry. Because I was like, what did he say? What did he say? What was every word he said? You know how we are as girls. So, but the gist of it is this. He walks in, Preston says to him, have a seat, man. I want to talk to you about something. Now, 2 days before this, and I don't think you guys have heard this part yet. I'll probably be telling you this again because I was excited about it. Nick, the guy who trained Courtney, gave his 2-week notice. He's leaving, okay? He's the one who was in, you know, sort of in charge. He would do all the training and stuff like that. But he has a very forgetful, he's an alcoholic and he drinks a lot, and he comes in and he does his job, and he's the best one they had, but he still, you know, wasn't quite up to snuff. So he wasn't management or anything. He was just, you know, the one that they would have train the other guys. And so he's quitting. And so when Courtney found out he was quitting, I told him, I go, you know, Preston wants to talk to you. I think it's going to be about Nick. And so sure enough, he goes in and he goes, look, he goes, Nick's leaving. And he said, I want you to understand that I have been waiting to find someone like you who I could mentor in my business and take under my wing and train you in every aspect of this business. And you're the one I've chosen. And are you good with that? And Courtney's like, yeah, you know, and he goes, of course I am. He goes, but Preston, I want you to know something. When I get overtime, I'm never out there milking the clock or taking your money without earning it. And Preston goes, I know that. And he goes, well, after the conversation or the text from Debbie yesterday, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. And Preston goes, I know. I told her, Debbie, why did you say anything to that man? I told him, you know, and she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. So, you know, the enemy tried, when he tried to get us to be all negative about it, turns out that Courtney was promoted, you guys. He goes, how long have you been with us, Courtney? He goes, well, I think it'll be 2 weeks in like next week. Technically, he's been there 6 weeks as of this Friday, as of today. So he's been with the company for a month and a half, and he's been promoted to be over the entire maintenance, cleaning, the repairs crew, everything. He's over all of that. He was promoted. So now we're just waiting to see, you know, if they give him a raise. They didn't mention that yesterday, but we're believing God for that because he did take a pretty substantial pay cut when he came there. And they know that. So we're hoping that they see what an amazing, you know, manager he is, because he's been a supervisor at every place he's gone, but he's never gotten really the accolades. He was just used. That's my point. He was always used for his excellence. He was always used for the fact that he would be there when nobody else would. Other people could slide, but Courtney be the one they'd call when other people slid, you know. So anyway, yeah, so he got promoted. Can you believe Jesus is so good, you guys? I mean, he's so amazing. We were so excited. And Courtney, he's so humble. He's like, you know, I was telling him how proud I am of him, and he's like, well, I thank you for that, honey. And he's just such a humble man. And I'm over here bragging on him, you know, and he's just like, Thank you, honey. Thank you. But he doesn't, he's just, he cracks me up. I'm like, I'm going to brag on you. I'm so proud of you. I can't even see straight. And you guys, I got to tell you, the Lord is so good. He is so good and so loving and compassionate and just, and he hears our prayers, he hears our cries, he knows what we have need of even before we ask. And when we do our part, the Lord is able to just bring those blessings to us. And I say that because my husband does his part. He really does. He works unto the Lord every day. He goes to work, and especially when people are mean to him or people are doing things that are not right, he might get frustrated, but he always tells the Lord, I'm going to give my all because I'm doing it unto you, Lord, not unto man. And to him, picking up every little piece of trash, he told Preston, even I don't care if I'm digging a hole, I'm going to do it to my best ability because I'm doing it unto the Lord. And when you have that kind of mindset, God will bless it. And it's taken a few years of just him sowing the seeds. What does it tell us in Galatians? It says, God will not be mocked, a man will reap what he sows. If he sows to destruction, or if he sows to sin and unrighteousness, he's going to reap destruction. If he sows to righteousness, he's going to reap eternal life and life in this life, and what I'm saying that for is because the next verse tells us, do not grow weary in well-doing, for you will reap a harvest if you faint not. Don't grow weary in doing what's right. I know it's really hard sometimes, because sometimes you feel like you've been doing it forever and ever, and it's been years that you've been doing the right thing, and it's just not, gone your way. And I can honestly tell you, Courtney has worked for some companies that really have done him in really, really bad. And the story about Ron and the whole thing with the taxes. I've shared that with you guys. And, the stuff that's been pulled on him working with just that man, and then that's not even talking about the other people he's worked with that have done him in, and other companies, but he's been faithful. He's never stopped saying, Lord, I'm doing this unto you. I'm doing this unto you. I'm doing this unto you. And I really believe that because he did not grow weary in doing right, that now God is able, that he walked into such a blessing, because the Lord said, it's time, son. It's time. And so I encourage you that you just give God your all. Give him your all. Everything that you do it unto him. I don't care if it's the dishes, just be faithful in your life. I am learning that myself, and it's just, even just watching my husband. I mean, that's something that I learned from him, is how to be faithful all the time. Because he, honestly, I'd say 98% of his life is spent being faithful in whatever area he's doing, whatever he's working at or putting his hand to, yeah, so it's awesome. It makes me think of like Joyce Meyer, Dave Meyer, how he has always been the one that was grateful and thankful. And Joyce talks about that a lot, how Dave taught her how to be excellent, in her attitude and in her mindset with people and with God and situations, and not to hold on to the negative or the unforgiveness, or, to walk in that sour spirit all the time. And that's why I feel with Courtney, there's just things that it just comes kind of naturally to him, but it's a good thing, because it helps me to see, how to do it, how to be, how to live. And it's like, because he's my husband, I've got that covering, and I'm very grateful for it. So anyway, that's my update, you guys. That's my update. My husband got promoted already. Praise God. Yeah, I'll let you know when he gets a raise. because I'll be really, really breathing, you know, super easy then. Because right now I'm like, okay, belt is cinched a little bit tight. But you know what? That's good for us sometimes, I think, to have to, you know, be responsible and not be so, oh, I've got it so I can spend it. You know how we are as people. We tend to do that. I don't know. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. But I do. When I have it, I'm like, oh, it's okay. We've got it, you know. And that's, yeah, it's not always good. Sometimes it's good to kind of be put in a position where you have to watch your money a little bit more than you would sometimes, you know. So this one's going to be a pocket. This is a tag. Of course, these are 1, 2, 3, 4 journal cards. I just wanted to use up some of this book. Now I think I'm going to make a little envelope. Let me see. If I do it kind of like that. Let's see. Just not that page. I'm looking here. These birds are so cute. Let me see if I can manage to get... Now I've got a nest. I could just do the words like this. Okay. There we go. That's a little bit better. I like that one. Okay, so we're going to do an envelope. Yeah, I'm just kind of all over the place today. I just thought it would be... Are we going to do an envelope, or should I make this into like... I'm wondering... I was thinking I could fold it and then snip it and make it into like a pocket type in the shape of an envelope, but I don't know. Let's see. This would be one that would go more into a, like in a, either sideways or in a cover pocket, you know, because I don't think it would fit to be glued in, is my point. Okay. All right. Let's glue this little baby down. Yeah, this has been quite an eventful last couple of days. Oh, and then he told Debbie, she came in, I guess, about halfway through their meeting. She's, like I said, she's the office manager that told him, you know, you need to watch your overtime, and you can get overtime, but just not that much, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, she came in, I guess, and and Preston, he goes, and by the way, he goes, Courtney can get, because he's going to be the one that goes and looks at the other guy's work. These guys have been there like 4 and 6 years or something like that. But, you know, they don't care. They don't care. And Preston can't trust them. So that's why he brought in a new guy. He's like, okay. He goes, you're what we've been looking for. And she said, yeah, we've been searching for somebody who could take over like you. And we're so excited. And it was funny because he told her, though, if Courtney needs to get 45, 46, 47 hours a week, I don't care. He said he needs the overtime, he can have it. He goes, because I know he's taking it because he needed it, not because he's just milking the clock and, you know, trying to get away with murder. So, yeah, she's like, okay. So, praise God. Yeah. Okay, so let's decorate. I think, let's see, where are we at? 38 minutes or 39 minutes. We got an envelope. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. That's not bad, right? You know how much I have. I don't need more than that. So what do we want to decorate? These are cute. I like them. Just having them on the pictures, you know, they look nice. But I think I'm going to do this first one I did. I like this guy. The foxglove. Let's see. I have some of this lace, and I'm just playing around now. I'm not committing to anything yet, but I do love like leaves on this kind of stuff. That would be pretty. Yeah, let's do some leaves on here. And where's my glue? My neighbor, that rooster I told you guys, oh, maybe I told you later on in the week. Anyway, my neighbor has a rooster named Sam. And I can hear him out there just rooting away. I think his hens must be having eggs. I think I told you already, every time she said that his hens have eggs, he gets very much like protective and goes up in their face. Oh, I know what I forgot to tell you guys. This morning, I go out super early with Tippy, right, to go potty. Well, I get out there and I'm standing there reading some of your messages to me, and it's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm getting up earlier now because of the summer. The hours are changing, so Cordy's going to be getting up earlier, so I am too. Well, I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see movement, and I look up, and there is a huge German Shepherd running out of the side gate of our yard from the back of the house where it's the other people, the neighbor's porch. He runs out and goes loping past us across the yard. He doesn't, thank God he was not aggressive. He didn't attack Tippy because I would not have been able to get to her in time. He would have killed her. And he runs past us into the front of our yard. And we have a really big, like, our property is probably 1.5 acres, okay? Well, the house sits on the far back of that 1.5 acres, so the front yard is very big and very long, So he runs all the way up to the front. I grabbed Tippy in mid pee-pee, I think. I think she was just done, and she was starting to look for a spot, to go number 2. And I grab her up. I'm like, come here. And I grab her, and he's over in the front, and he's running back and forth, trying to get out of the front of the yard. And there's no gate up there. It's over by where I'm standing. And I grab her and I run. Well, my sweater gets caught on the gate, on the fence. And I have to jerk back and undo my sweater. And I look, and he's still going back and forth at the front of the yard, trying to find a means out, poor baby. And he was freaking out. He was more scared than me, I think. Well, I don't know about that. My heart, I was just like, I had to sit down for a while. I got kind of sick, because it really scared me to the point where my heart was just racing. But anyway, yeah. So we escaped the dog. But that was my excitement for this morning. I was like, and so I go back outside to check a little bit later because Tippy still hasn't gone to the bathroom. And he's still out there. He was up and down the street, just running up and down the street. And I don't know if he'd been dumped and somebody, how people are. I don't know if someone had dumped him or if he actually, like, belonged somewhere nearby here, or was, you know what I mean? It was terrible. It was terrible. But yeah, so this is pretty, and I was thinking I might put a little piece of this on the side, but I don't want it to cover the foxglove thingy, but it says, allow yourself to bloom. Isn't that cute? So yeah, I'm thinking maybe I might, what I might do is take it over like so on the back, and then I'll have to glue it, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That'll be cute. That's something I don't usually do, is run anything down the back of my journal cards. So yeah, hopefully I'm leaving room for that foxglove thing here. Okay, I'm gonna have to trim it off right there, but I want it down the front too, and then I'm just gonna have to trim it. I think I'm over too far, might be, maybe not. Okay, so yeah, and that stupid song is going through my head, you guys, because of the fox thing. What does the fox say? Have you ever heard that song? Okay, I had never heard that song. I don't know if any of you have heard that song. I didn't know it until I met Courtney, and he was singing it one day, and I'm like, what are you saying? And it's the stupidest song. You can look it up on YouTube, and it's what does the fox say? It's just the most ridiculous song. Anyway, if you've never heard it, you're probably like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I had never heard of it, I guess. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty. And it says, allow, oh, look, it came out perfect. Allow your mind to bloom. Allow your mind to bloom. So that's cute. I wanted to use some tape, you know, in this little project, and I thought that it'd be kind of fun. Now, we are going to pick, of course, I may use my Tim Holtz people. I'm not sure yet. I might use somebody else, but let's see. These poor girls, their little heads are cut off. Look at that. That doesn't even... That's funny. This little guy's cute. But I'd rather have a little... Oh, here we go. Wait. Look at this little baby. She's so cute. She's so cute. Okay. And I moved my words into a drawer so that I could kind of... I've been rearranging. Oh, by the way, I wanted to let you guys know something. I had put... Enjoy the journey. I had put in my shop some tabs that I had punched, and they're like the whale tabs. And some of them are, I think, well, I did some flowers, but I don't think I put those in there. It's just my map ones I have in there. And they're really cute. They're just map cardstock that I did punching with. Well, I had them for $4. And I had to change them today because I found out that I changed them to $8. I hate that. But I found out that the, that's cute, that the mail, when you do your packages through Etsy, if you want to keep a star rating, you have to do certain things. One thing is sell a certain amount. The next thing, within 3 months, which it's like $300. The other thing is to have, they say 95% return of your responses, which means you respond within 24 hours. Okay, I had 5 responses, and I had 1 out of the 5 to a message from a customer that I got back to them after the 24 hours, not realizing I hadn't seen the message was in there. They actually dinged me down to 80%. So how do you ever be at 95%? I don't know. I had one time. So they dinged me on that. But the thing that got me was you have to have a tracking number, okay, to send a package. And if you don't have the tracking number, you cannot be a star rated person, okay? So you're not going to see me being star rated because the lady who bought, I had a lady buy some of my tabs. It was going to cost me $4.13 to send this, and that's through Etsy. If I went to the mailbox, it was going to cost me over $5, because it now costs at least $5 to send anything with tracking on it. And it doesn't matter how small the package. This package was literally this big. It was a little tiny envelope, and I put it into a regular envelope because she said you won't be able to send it like that. And I was like, okay, it has to be at least 5 by 3. I'm like, okay. So I had to come all the way home, repackage it, but she said to me that I could not send it without, or with tracking, without paying at least $5. So this thing weighed less than an ounce. These weigh less than an ounce. So I came home and I mailed it regular mail with stamps. I messaged the lady and told her there won't be a tracking number because I'm sorry, I cannot pay. The tabs were only $4. and they were charging me $5 for the thing. So I'm like, okay, I cannot justify to myself paying $5 on shipping for something when the package or the purchased item cost $4. I would have been losing money, so I just told her it'll have to, you're going to get it in the mail, in regular mail, and it'll be there for you. And I explained to her why. But I had to go into my shop, and I had to change the price of my shipping, and I had to change the price of my small order, because I was like, I can't afford that. I can't afford to pay for that. Yeah, so that was a bummer, right? I mean, I get that you have to use tracking, but the post office has put it to where you can't, oh, and you can't track a flat rate envelope. Even if, okay, she said, the lady at the post office said, that's fine if you want to send it in a regular envelope. She goes, but it's still going to cost you $5 to put a tracking number on it. I'm like, okay, so I go online and it says that it doesn't cost extra to put a tracking number. So I don't know if that's just my post office was trying to mess with me. I don't know. But I was like, okay, so even if I have a regular envelope, oh, and she said, and if you do put it in a regular envelope, you have to tape the whole thing closed, because it'll, with the tracking number, it'll have to go through our machine, and we don't want it to pop out. I'm like, okay. So you couldn't just seal the envelope. You had to package tape the envelope shut. It was crazy, you guys. I was like, okay, it's not even going to be worth it for me. Oh, dang it. You know what I forgot? I wanted to put our little path here. But I was like, it's not even going to be worth it to me to sell these if I have to pay that much, you know, just to, I'm going to do brown and see how it looks. If I have to pay that much just to ship it, I mean, that's ridiculous, right? How do people do it? I see other people ship stuff that weighs nothing, and they don't, you know, maybe they don't have a tracking number, and I just didn't pay attention. But yeah, I just decided to relinquish my star shop, you know, star seller rating, because I was like, you know what, no, you guys are just gonna have to say that I'm not a star seller. I know I'm a star seller. I know that I get things to people right away, and I know that my stuff is really nice, and usually I always respond to people right away. I had one snafu because my phone didn't notify me and it went against me, but yeah, I'm just going to know that I'm a star seller. I'm not going to worry about it. You know, my shop doesn't say that right now, so I'm like, okay, that's all she wrote. I just thought I'd tell you guys that, though. If you ever buy anything that's physical item and it's under, you know, if it's under a certain amount and you get a tracking number on it, the person who sent it to you is having to pay $5 at least, even if it's a tiny, tiny little item. So if they're sending it through the U.S. Post Office, I don't know if somebody else is cheaper. I know there's other mail services, but that's the one that they give us the opportunity for either U.S. Postal Service or FedEx on ours with Etsy. And it's kind of funny because the one for FedEx would have been $16.89 for a, literally, it was a 3 by 3.5 envelope at 0.03 ounce. So, yeah. Okay, so there's that. What time is it? We're doing good. I can hear my neighbor's little boy. He's like, yeah, 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 yeah. He's a 1.5 years old. He's just talking. I'm glad he's not crying. He's a cutie, a little cutie patootie. So there's that one, you guys. I think she looks adorable. I love this little girl. I'm just darkening the clothing back up because when I do the glue, it kind of takes it off. So there's that one. I hope you like it. Let's see. Which one do we want to do? Do we want to do the envelope? This one seems crooked to me. me see. What is this? This is some old ribbon I have that, I don't know. It's all stained up, but I think it looks cool, so I kept it. Let's see. I'm looking through my little scrap thingy here. If you guys are wondering what I'm doing over here. I wonder if this is long enough. I don't think it is. But I do have more of it right here. I'm going to be running out soon. I'm going to have to go. I like this stuff a lot. And when you cut it and then you just pull on it, it just frays at the ends again and looks really cool. So we're going to put some of that on there. Let me get my Fabri-Tac. So yeah, we had, actually, I had quite a few things to tell you guys about this week. I couldn't wait to tell you guys about what happened with Courtney, though. Yeah, thank you so much for all of your prayers. I know so many of you have told me that you're praying for him and praying for us, and I really appreciate it. We need it right now. We really have. I make light and joke around, but it's gotten pretty tight around here, and you know, the Lord has been so faithful. We would not have made it through this period if it hadn't been for the Lord preparing us for it beforehand. Oh, that looks pretty on there, huh? The lace. I was thinking up here. Yeah, he had us really, really prepared beforehand, because otherwise, you know, if it hadn't been for like our savings account and stuff, I don't know what we would have done. I mean, I would have definitely probably had to put the channel on hold and would have had to go back to driving or something to get us, you know, past it. By God's grace, I didn't have to do that. I don't think it would be very good for my car, but I especially don't think that with my health, I don't think it would be very good for me. It's kind of a stressful job. Working as an Uber or Lyft driver can be kind of stressful. Fun. I found it fun, but it was tiring, okay, to drive that many hours and that many miles every day. And yeah, it can get tiring. I enjoyed it, though. I can't ever say I didn't. I had fun while I did it. I really don't want to have to ever do it again, but I would. You know what I'm saying? And then to go back to work in the office as a legal assistant, I don't have it in me. I honestly don't have it in me now, guys. So I would have to go to work at, like, I don't know, I was looking at one of these. I would have to go to work at maybe I'm not going to use that. What do you call it? Like just a regular office, a clerical position somewhere, if I wanted to do that, because it would just be way, way, way too much for me. I already know that for a fact. So I'm trying to figure out if what all I want to do. I've got the lace, I've got the little, you know, velvet here, and that's fine. Let's do some damage with this ink here and see if that brings my eye to something here real quick. What time is it? It's almost time to end. I may have to finish this afterwards. I don't want to take us over too far. You know how I do sometimes, and I don't mean to, and I'm so sorry. You guys are all very gracious about it. I think I'm going to buy some blank. I tried to at Hobby Lobby yesterday when I was there. That was the other thing I was looking for, and they didn't have it. Blank ink pads just to use for filling myself. You know, just refilling them myself. Because this one, there's tons of ink in there, but it just doesn't really work very well. And I've got a re-inker, but I don't really want to use it, considering it's not really cooperating and staying wet, you know. It's like it's wasting the ink because it just sits on top. It doesn't sink in anymore. It's just too old. Okay, so there's that part. Got that darkened up a little bit. I'll have to do this side too, because I'm probably not going to be able to fit this into a, like, gluing it down. I mean, I guess I could sideways. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do it sideways, and then that way when I put it in, when I put it into the book, I could do it sideways. Do you know what I'm saying? It would look okay then. Yeah, that might work. That might do it. I'm just going to glue some stuff down and have some fun. I'm not going to overthink this. For me, that is usually my best experience, is when I just craft, you know, and just have fun. I have a tendency to get caught up in overthinking, and yeah. And better when I don't. I keep wanting to use these clocks, but they're just not working for me lately. I don't know why. And I love looking at them. But every time I sit them on something, I'm like, no, that's not where I want it. I don't want that there, you know. The screens don't match, do they? Not at all. Not at all, Tara. Huh. I am just over here in the box, digging through the box, looking for stuff. And I'm not finding what I really want. Kind of wanted this off to the side. You know, me and my collaging. I go to the collaging thing a lot. I love it. Just gonna sit this, angle this away up and above a little bit. The Pharmacy, South Queensbury. Yep. We're going to go for it. I told you I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to do it. And we'll see what I end up with, right? Or I'll see what I end up with. I may have to let you guys go here in a second. It's getting kind of close here. It's real close, actually. It's overtime now. I'm in overtime. Let's see. Goodness. Oh, that's kind of cool looking. This is just for the inside. What in the world am I going to do on the outside? Maybe now a clock. Not that big one. Do you guys ever just go, what are you doing, Tara? What? I know that some of you do because you've told me you do. Well, guess what? I don't know what I'm doing. That's what. I'm not even sure myself. So you'll just have to bear with me. Just bear with your Tara. She'll get it right. Oh, that one's cute. Kind of hard though. I actually did I did some stuff on that, and it's not your typical, you know what, I was thinking I could have like a little, you know, I usually have the closure there, but there's nothing telling me I can't put it up here, right? That would be kind of cute. Not that piece, but something like that. A little bit of different, not your average. Oh my gosh, I've spent most of the time in the last 10 minutes searching through this box. That's, I don't know about you, but it's annoying me, so I'm pretty sure it's annoying you guys. There's, I don't know, but let me see. I was going to say, let me look at this clock here. Again, with the clock, I know. This one's smaller, though. It fits more. I kind of like it up here. Just over that circle, just a little bit. Maybe, yeah, just one little more, no, square, and then the clock. I don't want it angled right. There we go. I know, I'm kind of crazy. Oops. Okay. I also think I need to eat some lunch. I'm a little bit hungry. I am going to use one of my clocks. I love these little clocks, and I've just been waiting. Okay. I'm putting right there. And then I'm going to put this on top of the edge of the clock, and that way it breaks apart the monotony of the circles. I don't want the circles to be right on top of each other. I know it says menu, but I don't care. It's a collage. Okay, so on the front, I was thinking this little guy would look really pretty. And then I need a person. I don't know what person, or maybe I could do another one of these. Nah. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Let me see. He's cute. Okay. We're going to, I was thinking of fussy cutting him out. Should I? I totally could. Let me see. He's pretty straight, you know what I mean? He's like, he would be easy to fussy cut. That's what I'm trying to say. His shirt's a little bit thinner, but he's coming along. Okay, be careful, careful, careful. Little baby face and his little baby ears. It's where you want to be careful. You don't want to cut into his hairline or nip off his little ear or make his head misshapen. I'll have to take a little more of that off. That's okay. He better look good there or I'm going to be disappointed I did all this work for nothing. Now, every time I look at this picture, I think, I need to fussy cut him. He, just the way he's standing, it would look good, you know, right at the edge of his picture, you know. Gotta be able to see. this right through here. I need to take a little closer on the shoulder right here and get the dark. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to darken him because he's way too bright white. Oh, I bent his head. Jeez. I totally bent his head, you guys. Oh my gosh. Hit his neckline. Ugh. I'm hoping I didn't destroy him. But he was so bright white. There's just a few lines right there, but it's okay. I am going to do a little bit more brown here. Do my little trail. All right. Now, and I've gone and went over way too far. I know. For those of you who've stayed with me, thank you. I love you too. I really do. Okay. I'm going to put a word. Let's see. He's young. He's a little boy. He's just starting his journey of life. So I am going to put enjoy the journey on this one. Upside down. Yes. I meant to do that. All right. So I hope you guys liked our mask make this week and that you played along, got out some book pages and made you some ephemera. I know it was kind of oddball to do it like that, but I don't know. I couldn't settle my mind on any one project, and I thought, you know what, we're just going to make stuff from book page. So like I said, you don't have to use Edith Holden, but if you want to, yeah, go for it. So there's our little guy. Okay, hope you like him. You open the envelope and you got the beautiful writing, and then you got a nice fun collage, and then over here we have this little precious angel full of hope. So I hope you guys had a good time and you felt inspired. I love you very much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. God bless you. Bye.